They ignored her when she was struggling, now they watch her from a distance. There was a time when her phone was always in her hand, not because she had people to talk to, but because she was hoping. Every notification made her heart jump. Every vibration made her believe, maybe this time someone cared. But most days, the phone stayed silent, and the silence was louder than any insult she had ever heard. Because the truth is, the hardest pain in life isn't always what people say to you. Sometimes the deepest pain comes from what people don't say when you need them the most. She wasn't always this quiet. Once, she was the one everyone called, the helper, the listener, the one who showed up. If someone needed money, she tried to help. If someone needed advice, she stayed on the phone for hours. If someone was hurting, she carried their pain like it was her own. She believed something simple: if I'm there for people, they'll be there for me too. But life was about to teach her a painful lesson. Because the moment she started struggling, everything changed. It started slowly. First, she lost something important in her life, something that made her feel stable. Maybe it was a job, maybe it was a relationship, maybe it was a dream she had worked years to build. Whatever it was, it broke something inside her. Suddenly, she wasn't the strong one anymore. She was the one who needed help. And that's when she discovered something that shattered her heart. The same people she had been there for were nowhere to be found. At first, she thought they were just busy. So she called, no answer. She sent messages, "Hey, I just needed someone to talk to." Hours passed, then days. Sometimes they replied with one word, "Stay strong," or "You'll be fine." But nobody actually showed up. Nobody asked, "Are you really okay?" Nobody came to sit with her in the dark. Nobody noticed how heavy her heart had become. And slowly, she stopped reaching out, not because she didn't need help, but because rejection hurts more than loneliness. She started fighting her battles in silence. And those nights were the hardest. She would sit alone with her thoughts, sometimes staring at the ceiling, sometimes crying so quietly that even the walls couldn't hear. Because when people abandon you during your darkest moments, you begin to question everything. You ask yourself painful questions. Was I only useful to them? Did they ever truly care? Was I just convenient? Those thoughts can destroy a person. And for a while, they almost destroyed her. There were mornings when getting out of bed felt impossible. Days when hope felt like a stranger. Moments when she felt completely invisible, like the world was moving forward. But she had been left behind. And the people she once called family, friends, support, were living their lives like she didn't exist. But something unexpected happened during that silence. Something powerful. When nobody came to save her, she slowly started saving herself. At first, it was small things, very small things. Getting out of bed even when she didn't want to, taking a walk outside just to breathe fresh air, drinking water, writing her thoughts down. Some days she failed, some days she cried again, but little by little she kept going, because deep inside her, there was still a tiny voice whispering something important. Don't give up. That voice became her strength, and slowly, something inside her started changing. she realized something painful but powerful. The people she had been waiting for were never coming, and once she accepted that truth, something inside her broke free. She stopped waiting for support. She stopped begging for attention. She stopped hoping people would finally care. Instead, she focused on rebuilding herself quietly. No announcements, no dramatic speeches, just silent growth. She started learning new things. She read books about strength and healing. She listened to motivational talks while walking alone. She started setting small goals, not to impress anyone, but to prove to herself that she could still move forward. And the most beautiful part? Nobody noticed, because while the world was busy ignoring her, she was busy rebuilding her life, brick by brick, piece by piece, day by day. Months passed, and slowly, the woman who once cried herself to sleep started smiling again. Not because life became perfect, but because she became stronger. The pain that once crushed her started turning into wisdom. The loneliness that once broke her started turning into independence. She discovered something powerful. When nobody is there for you, you discover who you really are. And she discovered that she was far stronger than she ever imagined. She started building new opportunities, new goals, new dreams. She worked quietly, focused, disciplined, while the same people who ignored her continued living their comfortable lives. They didn't know she was rising. They didn't see the late nights she spent working on herself. They didn't witness the battles she fought inside her mind. They didn't see the tears she turned into determination. But one day, things started changing. Her life slowly began improving. Opportunities appeared. Doors opened. People started noticing her progress, not because she asked for attention, but because her transformation became impossible to ignore. And suddenly, the same people who once ignored her messages started watching her again. Not up close, but from a distance. They saw the confidence she had built. They saw the strength in her voice. They saw the independence in her life, and something inside them felt strange, because they remembered something. There was a time when she needed them, a time when she was struggling, a time when she called, and they didn't answer. Now the woman they once ignored was someone they barely recognized. She had grown, not louder, not arrogant, just stronger. And the truth is, success changes how people look at you. The same people who disappear during your struggles are often the ones who appear when you rise. But here's the difference. She didn't need them anymore. Not their validation, not their approval, not their attention. Because the hardest part of her life had already passed. The nights of loneliness, the days of doubt, the moments when she felt like nobody cared. Those moments had built the strongest version of her, and that version of her was unstoppable. The phone that once stayed silent now received messages again. Hey, we should catch up. I always believed in you. We miss you. But she understood something now. People often support the victory, but disappear during the battle. And she had fought her battle alone. So she smiled, not with anger, not with bitterness, but with quiet understanding. Because the truth is, sometimes people ignore you when you're struggling. Sometimes they don't show up when you're hurting. Sometimes they leave you alone during your darkest days. But those same painful moments can build a strength that nothing else can. And one day, the people who once ignored you will watch you from a distance. Not because you asked them to, but because your growth will speak louder than their silence ever did. So if you're listening to this right now, and you feel abandoned, if you feel like nobody answered when you needed help, if you feel like the world forgot about you, remember this: your story is not over. Silence can build strength. Loneliness can create independence. Pain can become power. And one day, the same people who ignored you will see the person you became, not up close, but from a distance. And they'll finally understand something they didn't realize before. They didn't lose you when you succeeded. They lost you the moment they ignored you when you were struggling.